after the doubts, can you please again once that why are we not using instance variables in that question?
Okay, okay, okay. What are the doubts, Abhi?
Excuse me,
So
sir.
so
That's
what is the function of system.exit?
System.exit is used to terminate a program at any point of time. For example, you are even inside a loop, and the loop is working, and you want that on the third repetition of the loop, the program should automatically terminate. So you put over there, if x is equal to 3, you say system.exit 0 or whatever it is. So it is used to terminate the application.
So can we use this in our program, the credit card one?
You can use,
Sir,
but no. System.exit is for normally for an abnormal termination of a program. Use it very, very
yes, sir.
sparingly.
Sir, it was
ऐसा नहीं
not
कि
working. It was
no,
not
no.
working without it.
I'll have to see your program and see why it was not working. Okay. All right. ठीक है. And just give me a message in that. Put a message there that it was not working without system.exit. So I focus on the system.exit also.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So, but
Now,
I have a doubt. Like system.exit, when I put, if it was running, it automatically closes the terminal window.
it does.
Also,
Okay.
why, so,
Okay.
sir?
That is.
That is when a non-zero status code is given.
Uh,
But I have given it zero only.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, I think I don't use system.exit, so I don't know how it behaves with your terminal window. And we don't need the system.exit, by the way. It's only used sparingly. ऐसा नहीं कि तुम खुले दिल से कहीं पे भी system.exit लगा दो. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me clarify again why we are not using class variable or instance variable here. By the way, we are creating this particular class only to process a credit card number, only to process it, not to store it. There is a difference, isn't it? Now guys, there is a difference between processing. I have a credit card number, I just want to process it, I just want to know whether it is valid or not. So if I create a class now, the class that I make is not supposed to store that credit card number. It is supposed to process it. To process, we need methods. So we pass the credit card number to a method, which may pass it to another method, which may pass it to another method, whatever it is, but I don't want to store it. If I want to store it, only then I create an instance variable or I create a class variable. Am I clear? So we have to differentiate in your programs also, that the ones that you are going to get for the boards. If it is a processing kind of a question, no instance variables, no static variables at all. So create the main method static. It will pass the data to another method which is also static. That may pass it to another method which is also static, and so on and so forth. No instance variables, no class variables, no instance methods. All methods are static methods. Okay, does that make sense?
Excuse me,
Akash?
sir. I wanted to ask that if I used input, uh, the user inputs the credit card number. So, sir, should I change it in such a way that it is passed to the main method?
Beta, no, don't pass it to the main method. The main method should be starting off. The main method should actually be, I'll come to you, Atinder. The main method should be the starting point of your data collection. I should not be passing anything to the main function. So please don't pass anything to the main function. Does it make sense, Akash?
Yes.
Okay. Atinder, your question?
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, actually, I didn't have a question like specifically regarding to the project. It's like a general doubt. Sir, I wanted to ask when I used the char method, the char functions like is digit or is letter. Sir, a message, an error displays that the char cannot be dereferenced.
No, what
So
You
were
have
we
to
you?
use character.isDigit,
Yes.
sir
character.isDigit, and then the bracket contains the character.
So the entire command, what did you do? Character dot is digit so and so.
Sir, like boolean b is equal to character like char c dot is letter.
Okay. See,
so we need to write the
you're
vector
using
class.
the char variable to invoke the is digit. So we don't do it that way, beta. We say boolean b
Char is
is
not a
equal to
class.
char is not a class. So boolean b is equal to character dot is digit. In brackets, you write down the character that you want to check.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Shalaka. Ankit, I'll come to you.
I just wanted to ask that can we create member methods of our own? Like in a question, we have member methods only for the particular. So it
Uh,
is given like like I need to create a member method that debugs my account. There's an extra T or extra U, and I, instead of printing an error, I need to remove that T and U. Can I add one?
you can. Are you taking the example of this project?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can create as many methods as you wish, but they are all going to be static. When you say member, it is an instance method. Okay. So you will be creating. You can create methods as many as you wish, but they will all be static. Do not create any member method. When we talk about member method, that is an instance method. That is a non-static method. ठीक है शैलाका? Okay, I'll give you the reason why. Because if you create a member method or an instance method, you need to create an object in the main function. I don't want an object. I just want to do the processing. Object को तो छोड़ो, मेरे को object नहीं चाहिए इसके अंदर. मुझे processing चाहिए. So just create the main method which is static and create all the methods which are also going to be static. So no object creation. Main method calls the second one calls the third one calls the fourth one. There is no object involved at all. Okay.
Yes. And sir, if a user enters in his account number like by an error letter or something letter or other symbols, am I supposed to display an error or am I supposed to remove those letter and consider the numerals?
Yes, that is what we discussed yesterday. You are supposed to remove the kachara from that string, take only the digits, and then figure out whether it is perfect or not. Okay,
Yes,
so that
sir.
means the
I
user
was
might
not.
be writing, hyphens or spaces or something else in between. So just remove everything, keep only the digits, and then process it. Is the length okay?
Excuse
And so on.
excuse me, sir.
Okay, just a second. Ankit has raised his hand.
So I now tried the same program removing the instance variable and now it's perfectly. Why so, sir? Earlier time
Why?
like
Because
now I don't need to use scan.exit.
you
Without
don't need to.
scan.exit.
So when you create an instance variable, the instance variable actually stores the information.
And it will store till the next time
You
also.
might be accessing the
No,
same
no.
object. You
You
might be
might
accessing the same object.
see if the program finishes and you run the program again, the object is created again. So all instance variables are refreshed. So that cause problem will not be caused there. Should not be the cause.
So,
It
but
is
now
only when you in your program you're repeating something using probably a loop. And if you repeat the second
So
time,
it
the instance variable might store the information. Yes, Aryan.
so it might be that he had created an object once only and had performed operations on it twice,
Performed operation on it twice, but
but
he
I have
or
says,
used
run
all
the program.
static. But I have
but
used
he
all
had
static.
he okay he had actually ran the program the next time, he says. It is not twice in the same program. Chalo. Anyway, we'll see. Kabir.
Sir, do we need to check the values returned by the functions in the main method, or should we check in the respective functions only?
That depends on how you have arranged it. In the main function, you have taken as input. The main function calls maybe
Sir, the main
sanitize. Yeah,
sir,
maybe calls the sanitize function, and sanitize function removes everything else and keeps only the digits and returns the string to the main function. Now the data is coming back to the main function.
yes, sir. And
But
sir,
the
in the
sanitize function may further pass the cleaned string to another function, which is going to check whether the length is fine or not, and so on and so forth. Then the data will be returned to the sanitize function.
no, sir, should we check like the name of the card issuer in the main method or in the function?
You could check in the main method. See, how I would plan is that I will take the input of the string inside the main function. I will call the sanitize function. Sanitize function will remove all the non-digit things and return the clean string to me. Now the main function is now further going to check whether the length is fine or not. If the length is okay between 12 and 19, then I will call the sum check whatever validate card function, which will return the sum to me. Now the main function will check whether the sum is divisible by 10 or not.
Okay, sir. So can we sanitize the string inside the main function only
You could,
after it is accepted?
yes. You can do everything inside the main function for that matter.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, you could use functions. If you know functions, please use functions.
Okay, sir.
Hanji. Ankit, you have another question?
No, sir, I forgot to
Okay,
blow my
okay.
sorry.
Vancouver.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
buddy.
in the unit test, there was a question about extracting a character from a string, and it was like s dot char@, and we have to check which is the correct function. So out of those, in the answer key, there were three correct answers. One was s dot char@2, and the other
Uh,
were s dot char@5 by 2. I
uh,
didn't understand how did 5 by 2
so what is
Yes,
5
sir.
by
be.
2 going to return?
So 2.5.
I don't think so.
No,
It
it
is
is
going to
integer
return.
division.
It is an
It
integer
returned
division.
2.
Yes, it will return 2 because that is what I wanted to know, यार. तुम्हें this इतना deep आना चाहिए. If I give 5 by 2, it is basically giving 5 by 2 is 2, not 2.5, because none of these is a fractional number. So the result is going to be a 2. So that is also a 2. The third one is s dot length function divided by 2. So s dot length function is a 5, again an int, divided by 2, which is also an int. Again the answer is a 2. So all the three answers are correct.
Okay,
Vancouver.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And in our project, sir, which program will be more efficient? A one with more functions, or one in which everything is in the main function only?
See, efficiency wise, both should be same, but when we categorize them into various subroutines, it looks better. Okay. एफिशिएंसी
Okay,
वाइज
sir.
ओके मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ कि एफिशिएंसी वाइज हमें कहाँ फर्क पड़ता है मेन तो चीज ये है कि इफ अ फंक्शन इज कॉल्ड द सेकेंड टाइम इन अ प्रोग्राम आई विल से इट इज वेरी एफिशिएंट अब इसमें शायद बेचारे एक फंक्शन को दोबारा कॉल करने की जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ेगी क्यों बिकॉज मेन फंक्शन से डेटा इनपुट हुआ उसने सैनिटाइज फंक्शन को कॉल किया उसने डेटा रिटर्न किया मैंने इसको चेक किया उसके बाद मैंने सम वैलिडेट कार्ड को पास किया उसने सम कैलकुलेट करके मुझे वापस कर दिया सो आई हैव क्रिएटेड टू फंक्शंस एंड बोथ ऑफ देम हैव बीन यूज्ड ओनली वंस ओके सो आई विल नॉट से दैट इट इज वेरी एफिशिएंट कि भाई मैंने दो फंक्शंस बना दिए एफिशिएंसी में तो फर्क नहीं पड़ा लेकिन आपने क्योंकि अपने प्रोग्राम को कंपार्टमेंटलाइज कर दिया So it is better readable, not efficient, but it is better readable for a programmer. Why? Because if I need to check for errors, I will check. अगर मुझे लग रहा है कि मैंने इसके अंदर आलतू फालतू कैरेक्टर्स डाले थे और एंड तक आलतू फालतू कैरेक्टर्स पड़े हुए हैं, which function are you going to check? Sanitize function, isn't it? You will simply go and check. उसके अंदर जो 5-6 लाइनें लिखी हैं उसमें चेक करोगे मैंने क्या गलती करी. So उस तरह से efficiency होगी बस. Okay?
Okay,
Sir,
sir.
so in
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
project,
Abhijit?
which one we have to do? Sir, we
Uh,
have to make a main one only which contains all or more methods?
Beta, that depends on your expertise. It is okay with me if you create everything inside one function, inside the main function. It is okay. But you guys are supposed to know methods. So if you can create a method which is doing some task and which is, meaningful task, then it is good. Okay. In the board exam also, in the board exam also, do not create any altu faltu functions there. If you do everything inside the main function, perfect. There is no problem at all. But if you know how to create functions, please do create functions. Yes, Satinder.
Sir, I wasn't able to hear clearly when Mankover asked the question. Sir, would 5 by 2 like return 2? Will it be 2 or 3?
It will be 2, beta. It will be 5 by 2 is an integer division, so 5 by 2 will give me a 2.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Similarly, length function by 2 will also give me a 2.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hanji. Abhijay, another question?
Yes, sir. Sir, can we use integer.parseInt in a scanner class?
Integer.parseInt in a scanner class.
Yes, sir. If we want to
Why?
convert a string into an int.
Yeah, of course you can. You use scanner.nextLine or scanner.next to take the input, and using parseInt convert it into an int. That is not a problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. I had sent the text of whatever I'm supposed to do today. Okay, and okay. Let me share my screen. I have not shared it yet. That's bad. Okay, guys. This is today's work. Whatever I could arrange. इसमें मैंने डेटा तो काफी सारा दे दिया है, लेकिन आप इसमें जो रेड वाला पार्ट है is something which you need to remember. The black वाला part, okay, you can read through it, but इतना ध्यान में डालने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay. The first things that needs to be done is streams. Now streams, basically, what is a stream? Basic stream is something like a rivulet or a small river, which basically water is flowing from one place to another. What is flowing in the stream on a computer is basically data. Data is flowing from one place to another. For example, if I type anything on my keyboard, that data goes in the form of a stream to whatever object that you are actually using to take the input or maybe give the output. So when something is supposed to go to the monitor, it also goes in the form of a stream. Now, naturally, we have two kinds of streams. One is called as an input stream. That means it reads the data from a source. The source here could be the keyboard, could be the mouse, could be the scanner, could be a file, and so on and so forth. Output stream could be the monitor, could be a printer, could be a file. Okay, somebody wants to say something here. Okay, why am I getting this flashing thing here? Okay. All right. So these are the two streams, not very big deal. Now, based on the data they handle, now please remember, on the data they can handle, there are two types of streams. Okay, and we have a byte stream which handles data in bytes, that is 8 bits. Okay, now byte stream classes जो हैं जो हमने नहीं की हुई, they read and write data of 8 bits, and using these you can store characters, videos, audios, images, etc. So ये सब images, audios, videos and normal characters. You cannot, yes, English characters fine, but you cannot use Hindi, Urdu and so on, because that actually is Unicode. Now we have another stream classes which are called as character stream classes, which are actually your scanner class and the buffered reader class and so on. These are character stream classes. Basically, they are used to handle data in Unicode. That means they are basically using data which is basically characters. Okay, so and using these you can read and write text data only. So that means you can only store text data, not videos and audios and images and so on. Make sense, guys? Any questions?
Yes.
So can we
Okay.
store videos and audios in BlueJ?
Yes, you can.
So please tell the associated class.
Associated
research.
class or okay. We'll have to see the layout there. In fact, file input stream and others, they are byte streams, and your buffer reader and
Bitmap.
buffer reader class is character stream. Okay, now the standard streams that we have, we normally use something called as a system.in. For example, we say scanner sc is equal to new scanner in bracket system.in. So when we write system.in, that means the scanner class, which is basically taking an input from somewhere. Now where is the data going to come from? It is going to come from the standard input device. We call it as the standard input device. And for a computer, a standard input device is the keyboard. Okay. So if you use system.in, where is the data going to come from? The data is going to come from the keyboard. Now you use something like system.out.println function or system.out.print function. So what stream are you using? You're using system.out stream, and system.out stream is basically your computer screen. Okay. So we have two streams, that is system.in, which is the keyboard, and system.out, which is the monitor. Now we have another stream which is called as the system standard error stream, that is system.err. So system.err is basically used to display an error message onto a computer screen. You also see your error messages when some error happens. It is shown on the terminal window. That is happening through the system.err.
So can we use error messages to show that this credit card is invalid in exams?
Using system.err?
Yes.
No. This whole thing is in black, so I mean you are not supposed to do this. ये तो मैंने तुम्हें वैसे ही टेक्स्ट पढ़ने के लिए दे दिया. System.err तुमने नहीं यूज करना. And by the way, this is Aryan, isn't it? Aryan ने पूछा था अभी?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aryan, you used split function in your program, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so split function in projects is fine because that remains with me only, but do not use split function for your programs for the board exams. Okay, although it is efficient and it is a clean program, but still they don't expect you to be actually doing that. All right. The next, yes, beta.
So sometimes we need to use some other output device, for example speaker, when we write \a. So sir, how is that data transferred?
That data is transferred not to your normal speaker beta, not to the speaker. You know, when your system start, it gives out a beep, isn't it? and if there is an error, it gives out short beeps, like it keeps on giving if there is a RAM error or something like that. Have you heard that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So where is that output coming from? It's not coming from the normal speaker. There is a small device inside which gives only that beep. Okay, so the \b that you're talking about will send the beep to that beeper over there in your system. It will not send it onto the output device. Is my meeting perfectly fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I think it dropped.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So please don't rack your brain too much into this. सिर्फ इतना समझ लो system.in हम use करते हैं to take input from a keyboard, and system.out use करते हैं to give output to the monitor. System.err although gives output to the monitor only, so we don't normally use it. Instead of system.in, if I need to access data from a file, suppose मेरे पास एक text file है, उस text file में से मैंने कुछ read करना है, तो what will I do? I'll say scanner
object.
yeah, we'll just create a file object and use that file object inside the scanner constructor. Who set the file object? Okay. All right. Next is the final keyword. Now the final keyword is used in three contexts. If it is used with a variable, the variable cannot be changed. For example, if I say final int pack size is equal to 10, the variable pack size is not going to change in my program. Okay, so does that make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If I use it with a method, like if I write it something like final static void abc method with the braces, this abc method cannot be overridden. Overridden, as you know, is between the base class and the child class. That means in the child class, I have the same function as the one in the base class. So if I create a function with the final, it cannot be overridden. That means I cannot create the same function in the child class also. Does it make sense, or should I repeat?
Sir, please repeat.
Okay. I have a class A, and in which I have created a method called void abc function with something inside it. I have now created a class B which extends A, and now can I now create a void abc function here?
Yes, sir.
I can, because the function up there is not actually final. So when this kind of a situation arises, class B is actually the child class, class A is the base class or parent class. Now this method has been overridden by the child. Okay, but if I create this as final, if I say final void so and so, that is going to prevent the creation of a function called void abc inside B class. So it cannot be overwritten. I cannot create abc function inside B. Does it make sense now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, when does overriding occur? Does the method signature need to be the same or the method name?
Yeah, the method entire signature needs to be the same. In fact, there are other things also. The return type also should be the same. वैसे normally overload जब करते हैं तो return type could be anything. The arguments could be anything, है ना? And moreover, और कई चीजें होती हैं कि जो उसका accessibility है should be at least as accessible as the previous one. For example, if I create something like protected void abc function there, and I create a private void ABC function here. I've overridden it, but I have decreased the accessibility of that. So it will not be allowed. So पहली तो बात method signature exactly same होना चाहिए. Secondly, the accessibility should be as much as the previous one. So I can create it as public. Yes, I have increased the accessibility, no problem, but I cannot decrease the accessibility. Now in your syllabus, if you have understood, perfectly fine.
Sir,
Okay.
can protected be used outside a package?
Protected can be used outside a package. Yes, why not?
Because it is written in a book
प्रोटेक्टेड नहीं 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 नहीं
that
नहीं नहीं एक मिनट प्रोटेक्टेड तुमने एक पैकेज में एक जो कंपोनेंट है उसको प्रोटेक्टेड बना दिया and you are saying that whether it can be used outside the package.
yes sir.
Yes, it can be if in whatever we are
Class
accessing it
extra.
is actually a child class of that class. ठीक है,
Okay.
सो ये दोनों क्लासेस जो हैं बेस क्लास किसी और पैकेज में है, ये चाइल्ड क्लास किसी और पैकेज में है, ये एक्सेस करेगा बिकॉज वो तो वो क्या कहते हैं एक्सटेंड हुआ हुआ है उससे, हालांकि अलग पैकेज में है बट
And
एक्सटेंड
sir,
हुआ हुआ
if we don't create a child class but the other class is in the same package,
No.
can we access that?
है इन द सेम पैकेज विल एक्सेस, वो तो है ही है, तो बाय डिफॉल्ट है. ओके, द लास्ट वन, if used with a class, that means अगर मैं क्लास के साथ लिख देता हूँ, जैसे मैं लिखता हूँ फाइनल क्लास डेमो, the class cannot be inherited anymore. That means उसकी inheritance उसी टाइम बंद हो जाती है. For example, इसमें अगर मैं यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ final class A, I cannot use extends A. ठीक है? So that means A becomes a final class. Means इसके बाद इसकी inheritance close हो गई. इसके बाद ये inherit नहीं होगा. Does it make sense now? So I'll probably ask in my future tests, I may ask about variable and method in a class for finals. You may be asked in the board exam, I don't know, but I normally give all these so that if you are 100 marks wala student, you should not lose marks on that. If anybody asks anything out of the ordinary, then you should not lose it. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, beta.
Sir, is there any function in BlueJ that erases the previous output and displays the new output?
Yes. What is it? Backslash B है कि क्या है? That is one of the backslash B is for bell. I think it is for the beep. What is for the
Sir, for BP it is backslash
backslash?
A for beep.
A. Okay, okay. So backslash B is normally, I think, for the backspace. Yeah, so that means you can use for example, हाँ जो output में से screen clear करने के लिए. So suppose you write system.out.print and you write ABC backslash B. So this is only going to display AB. It is going to remove the C from the string. Okay.
No, no, sir. Like if we have a loop running, and every time the loop displays a new message, so the old message should be erased, and the next time the new message should be displayed.
Yes, it can be. You can use a backslash T there.
Backslash T.
Sorry. Backslash F. Backslash F. Okay.
L.
So you can use a backslash. Once again.
So backslash L.
Backslash F.
F.
Okay. F actually stands for form feed. Form feed is actually normally used for printers when it is supposed to go to the next page. So it actually erases the screen and goes to the new blank page. Are we fine?
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Anjivita?
Sir, apart from removing spaces, does split function also do something else?
Split function is basically used to split. It is not used to remove spaces. It is not used to remove extra characters. It is used to split. बेसिक काम तो उसका स्प्लिट करने का है, वो स्प्लिट कैसे करते हो और स्प्लिट करने के बाद क्या करते हो, वो that could be different. Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you have told that multiple inheritance is not supported in Java, but sir, an inherited class is a subclass of two classes.
नहीं
So,
बेटा, नहीं बेटा. Like if I have A and C, something like this. This is not possible. So अब अगर अब मैं ऐसे लिख रहा हूँ, so what does it actually mean? It means that B is the child class and it has two parents A and C. This is not possible in Java.
So can inheritance work like this, that B inherits from A and C inherits from B?
Yes,
So
of
the
course.
C will have both A and B's attributes.
Yes, but not two parents. One is a grandparent, by the way, now. ठीक है, so for C, A is not a parent.
Grandparent is accessible to the child.
Yes, they are accessible to the child, provided the filtering thing happens properly. Okay, that also depends on the accessibilities of everything. Alright, so it is finally going to get to the grandchild. Alright, we should not go into too much of that. System.exit, it is basically used to terminate a program. Okay, and we use a 0 or a number to indicate that the program has terminated and the operating system may or may want to do something else apart from whatever. I'll give you an example. Suppose you have downloaded a software, you are trying to install it, and the installation crashes after a few seconds. When it crashes and you say close this program, after a few seconds the OS gives out a message, it seems that your application could not be installed properly. Do you wish to install it using whatever? Did you have this kind of a problem earlier? Sometime?
Yes.
Okay, it normally happens. Now when the program crashed, how did the operating system come to know that yes, it has crashed? It comes to know only from the system.exit. So I can say system.exit 1 to indicate to the thing that there are some resources that this program could not find on your system. I could say system.exit 2. I could say 2 means there is some hardware issue on your system. Something like that. Okay,
So
we
if we
need
use
not go
0,
into 0 is normally no problem situation. Okay, so that means whenever you write system.exit, you write a 0 there. Now,
sir, it is used to exit the program.
system.exit will exit. Doesn't matter whether you pass it a 0 or a 1 or a 2 or a 100.
Sir, it indicates the successful exit or not.
Yes, but we are not going to use the 0 or the 1 or the 2. So that means जब भी तुमने exit करना हो तो system.exit 1 लिखो या system.exit 200 लिखो, उसको प्रोग्राम को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, उसने तो exit करना है. ठीक है? So that is okay. Once again,
It's not like a break comes out of a loop, system.exit comes out of a loop.
yes, it comes out of the application. Just like a break comes out of a loop or a switch, the system.exit causes the entire application to stop.
So why should we use it sparingly?
Because beta, it is a break statement and it is basically तुम्हारे प्रोग्राम का कोई ना कोई फ्लो होता है. It should actually go with the flow. The flow should be created in such a manner that it should automatically exit the loop using a normal flow. this is an abnormal kind of an exit. We can
So,
use,
but then
yes.
if statements we can use if we don't want to check ahead of that program.
हाँ, चलो जैसे तुमने स्विच के अंदर लगा रखा है, तुमने इनपुट लिया और कहा ठीक है अगर मैंने 0 इनपुट है तो मेरा प्रोग्राम टर्मिनेट हो जाना चाहिए.
Yes, sir.
So fine, if you say if the input is equal to 0, then system.exit 0.
Yes.
So that kind of a thing you should do. That is not a problem, but don't use it just for the heck of using a system.exiting from anywhere. There should be a logic for it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The system.0 के साथ 1 और 2 और जो numbers हैं वो कैसे use करने हैं वो हम किसी और time पे करेंगे, but not with the entire class. I'll do it only with whoever wants to do it. Errors we will do exceptions अब हमने exceptions करने हैं. Labeled break and once again
We'll go to set the programs with system.exit if we need it.
you can use. I'm not saying you should not use it. I'm saying sparingly use it. That means I should not see 5 or 6 system.exits in your program just to make the program exit from some place.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Sir, like if there is a program, like I'll take the example of this project only. Like suppose it had it been that if the user like uses anything other than a digit, so it should give an error, and then it should only give an error, and the program should end. So sir, can we use it like to sort of increase the efficiency then that like uh,
कि input ही तुम्हारा
aside
character.
Sir,
नहीं
in
सर
नहीं, you are saying कि तुम्हारी input जो है वो digits की ही हो.
नहीं सर मैं
हाँ.
जैसे आई एम टेकिंग द एग्जांपल कि जैसे
हाँ.
अगर आपके पास लाइक सपोज एक कंडीशन है if that is false you should like exit the program like in the previous programs we had to like do an entire we had to follow an entire parameter like sir I can't like really quote an example but we'll have to like sir I'll may I take text you in personal.
Okay. You good. You good.
sir, like in
I'll
this
see.
program you sent, we in the if the length is not appropriate, we can display this is invalid and then system.exit.
Yeah. Okay. See. There are two ways to exit for exiting this program. आप if else को properly place करो and it will not go into the further else's and so on, and it will terminate. The second way is using a system.exit. System.exit basically is a simpler way of exiting, where you are basically not considering the rest of the program. भाई तुमने उसको कैसे place करना है, and you are simply taking a simpler path. Okay? तुम complication में नहीं जाना चाहते और तुम एक simple सा path लेके कर रहे हो. So one system.exit is fine in my programs, but I don't want them to crop up everywhere in the program.
So if we use one system.exit in the program, do we need to create another at the last?
Create what?
System.exit.
You're not creating, you're using it.
Yes, sir, using.
So you don't need to use it anywhere. So wherever it is used, it will terminate the program.
So, but I tried it yesterday. It was showing for one time valid and the second time invalid. So when I used system.exit
That
at the last,
no,
it started working.
that is something else. That is some other thing. Okay. We'll continue. Time बहुत हो गया. We'll do exception जो है जब chapter आएगा तब करेंगे. By the way, your labeled break and continue is not in your syllabus, so I don't want to get into this at all. Okay. Escape sequences are basically the character backslash is used to alter the functioning of a character. For example, if you just say system.out.println and in the bracket you say n, it will display n on the screen. But if you use a backslash n, it is going to move the cursor down on the screen. So what is the difference here now? here is that n has been escaped by the backslash. So we say that n has been escaped. That means it is not doing its normal task. It is not doing the task of displaying n on the screen. It is doing something else. Let's take another example. Using double quote is basically to delimit a string. That means you start the string or end the string with double quotes. But suppose you want to display a double quote within the string. What do? You put a backslash double quote inside the string. अगर तुम नहीं करोगे तो क्या होगा? अगर तुम यहाँ पे मैं डबल कोट डिस्प्ले करना चाहता था और मैं ऐसे कर देता हूँ डबल कोट डिस्प्ले, so what is the going to be the error now? The error is going to be that this is the string and this is the fal2 delimiter here. So it is going to consider this as the closing of the string. I don't want it, so I put a backslash. I say I have escaped it. So that means this double quote is now not going to close the string, but it is going to display the double quotes. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
What happens if I do this now?
So in my computer, it was added as a comment.
No, beta, it is not a comment. It is inside a string, so it is not a comment. So, and by the way, the comments are this one, not the other one.
Sir, will it like display an error because the thing there are two backslashes?
Yes, beta, it is going to display an error. Okay. Now the thing is, this backslash is not allowing this backslash to do its work. So what was this backslash doing? The second backslash was actually escaping this double quote. और हमने इस बैकस्लैश के पीछे भी बैकस्लैश लगा दिया, तो इस बैकस्लैश ने क्या करना है? It will not allow this backslash to actually do its work. So what will happen now? ये बेचारा डबल कोट जो है खुला रह गया और ये एरर दिखाएगा. ओके, अब क्या होगा?
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ जी बेटा.
Two backslash will be printed.
One single backslash will be displayed. A single backslash will be displayed. Okay.
Sir, as you told, like if we need to print a quote, we'll need to use the backslash. Sir, can we use can we put the quote in the braces, like in the bracket, and then print it?
No, you cannot put quote in the brackets. It has to be escaped.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it has to be escaped. Like this. Like if I want to suppose display, like we have 2 feet 3 inches, something like that. Okay, तो मैं इसमें कैसे डिस्प्ले करूँगा? I can display 2 feet 3 now backslash double quotes. ठीक है, ये ऐसे डिस्प्ले हो जाएगा. So this is going to display. ठीक है.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, the last is this. I think time बहुत हो गया, इसको अगली बार कर लें क्या? Yes guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, थक गए होंगे, है ना? Okay, so we'll do this keyword and the pure and impure method. Not much, ये तो 5-7 मिनट में ही हो जाएगा, but I don't want to continue. So let's do this next time. Next time we are going to start off with arrays now. Okay, we are going to start off with arrays. So I'll send you something, maybe a video or text or some reading material before we start the program. We start the arrays. Okay, any question from today?
Sir, do we have a class on Sunday?
We don't have anything to do on Sunday. Sunday is basically because everybody cannot come in. I don't think we can start off arrays with that on Sunday. Maybe next Sunday we'll have.
Okay, sir.
But one regular class, yani ki 2 regular classes we will have before we start off arrays on a Sunday, so that people will be able to understand it. Okay. Yeah. Any problem?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Vancouver.
Sir, in the project, when we will display finally we will display the card number, do we need to give the spaces which are between 4 digits?
No, no. I don't enforce it, but if you wish to put it, no problem. That will look good. ठीक है, जो आपकी
Okay.
आउटपुट आ रही है वो उसका प्रॉपर्ली फॉर्मेटेड बनाना, जरा लेफ्ट एंड राइट ज्यादा मिसअलाइंड ना हो, प्रॉपर सा आउटपुट आए उसका. ठीक है.
Okay, sir.
Okay, any other question, beta ji? Okay. Okay, so we'll meet on Thursday next. Okay. ठीक है, and keep sending me your projects, and no instance variable, no class variables. Okay. Thank you guys. We'll
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.